I just want to ensure these work.
Check, check, one, two. Check. Settings. Check, check, check. So it has check, check, check. One, two. Test. Check, check, check. Check. Check.
Might sound good on my end. I'm just gonna jump in and say that whoever started talking, their mic does not sound good at all. I don't know if that's the same for you, Sylvia, but it's not coming through on my end.
Yes, I can't hear anything. You're correct, Clyde.
Yeah. Hello?
That's clear.
Okay,
Much
our
better.
mics were off. Our mics were on. So then
Ah.
when I, mic
Okay.
on.
Does this mic work okay?
That's clear.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hear me? Okay. Oh. So we have 5 in here.
Mm,
Really? Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, so this is. Got to play. Shell and Pecan. Is that better?
Hmm.
Yes.
I call this meeting of Jan. The meeting will come 30. Item and parts of the minutes. Everybody read the minutes. I don't think that might be needed. I, I'm motion that accept the all, special.
Hey, hey, Jim, I know we're voting on the agenda, or the approval of meeting minutes, but if that's you as our chair, I think your mic, it might be the problem, unfortunately. So,
Agree.
Did you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
thank you.
Uh, Did anybody have any discussion on the minutes? Not, I will call for a vote. All in favor? Okay. I- Stand. And I've got.
That's right. Okay. Okay. They aren't necessarily, the comments we've seen so far aren't necessarily reflecting the person who sent earlier. So we are working on updating those. I think as of today, if I'm understanding correctly, this is our last look at the draft. And then in January, let it again. The game is my vote. Vote later in January for us. Cool. So I think that we're all, I've got all this discussion of it. All busy time of the year. Yeah, but can we all just have like come down stage? And I'm saying that mostly from my own perspective. Thank you for your patience and bringing this together. We did give a lot of updates in our last meeting, as far as the draft, the color correction, of course, the smaller enforcement dramatic amendments that actually in our last meeting. Now, some still unstable. That's so weird. So you could like talk to me. Or, do I need to be like this close to the mic for that to be better? I guess you can.
Honestly, I don't think it's about how close you are to the mic. It, just from my
Okay.
educated guess, it sounds like a wiring issue in terms of the
Got it.
actual, yeah,
Is this any better? This mic?
yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Glenn.
All right, so I was just saying that we did, majority of all the updates that we discussed in our last meetings, the color correction, the charts, notes, updated to the current tables that we have in there as well. Adjusted for those internet areas, I think was a much more applicable and powerful vision of, I think, those cultural values. So all of those are done. I think what we can maybe start with then my other comment was, thanks for the brief today. It seems kind of. So we received edits from Commissioner Blades and Chair Gibbons. And so I figured what we'll do is just go through and see if there's any sort of, I know there's probably some formatting things that we need to address. There's page numbers and some other grammatical stuff as we go through. It's just going to happen. I think just in general, some formatting to make this look a little bit more pieced together, getting a lot of nod from that. So I definitely recognize that as well. So I'll have some time to make those adjustments forward. Was there anything, was there anything as far as the information or the visuals that you see here that you're thinking like, I need more, I want something that's in one section that's not another that I might add or discuss why they are not. It's just put there.
Fine. I hope you saw them on the cover of the art.
No, so we don't have the cover page yet. I would imagine we want something similar to last year. I think that was an effective cover. So yeah, we'll work on that. No. Better cover art. Right. Got something for cover art. We are still working on getting the program or location for some of the photos. They're noted. We're still working on that. More photos. Got it. Just in general, more photos. Yeah. All right, fair enough. I know that we already sort of analysts. Okay, cool. Activity. Okay, yes. Here's just, we're gonna go through and double check all of our numbers just to make sure they're as accurate as possible. I think really that only applies to probably our attendance. Events and attendance figures we see a large amount of data that we probably need to go through. And then towards that last page, some of the sliding metrics, which should be on to so, like what? Just like go from beginning to end and see if there are any comments about that more effective. Great. So, so the table of contents, what we'll do once we put page numbers in there is we'll have page numbers for references. So that's good. Like I said, we're still work in progress. I will say, if I might, as an aside, as an aside that I think that we're in a really great direction with the annual report this year. This is really nice. It's so much nicer. All right. About the Office of Arts and Culture, that page. Do you have any comments or notes on that you haven't been received from anyone? Great. Moving on. Guiding principles. I think we can probably just work on formatting on this. Make those columns a little bit wider if possible. And then Commissioner Bedell, you use a particular kind of, because I think it's going to come up already, alignment. It's not left align. What do you call it? We'll work on this.
Well, flush, right flush, left flush, justified. So you have a rag right. I guess rag right is what you're asking.
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay.
Rag right, I think, is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of this we'll see justified, and I think that last year that was sort of a point that you made consistently. There's just not.
It's easier to read with a lot of copy. Yes.
So we'll use rag right, I think, is what we need to be looking at. Okay, great.
Yes.
Other than that, guiding principles, good. Great. Moving on to the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission page.
Mhm. You know,
Great.
one thing I noticed, and I don't know if it bothers anyone else, second bullet, because everything is basically active. And on the second bullet, 15 of the members shall be appointed. Shall be. I think we should just make it active. 15 of the members are appointed respectively. So change shall be to are.
Got it.
Those are just little things. It feels like it flows better with the rest of the copy there.
Perfect. Will do. And then I noticed that we are missing. Sorry. Oh no, it's I think potentially Commissioner Larez on here. We're missing one of our commissioners on the bottom. Oh, it's on there.
It's on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Disregard. It just cut off on my page then, so never mind. Great. I was like, how did no one else catch that? No, I know. I see it now. Now it's hot. Yes. Yes, thank you. All right, so moving on to standing committees. Again, I think formatting should be cleaned up here and just some general colors and looks. Commissioner Blazes sort of edits about outstanding actual text starts in committees at the top of the page. We'll confirm with Commissioner Daniel if you'd like to see anything, Devani Daniel. Any other thoughts or questions on this thing? Maybe a left align or a right rag.
Yeah, Glenn, I'm not a fan of that layout. I don't feel like it's very readable. I think we need to have paragraphs too. So
Okay.
I couldn't understand why it was in that format. So that, as well as the ad hoc committee,
I agree.
I don't think it has to be. I think it's because they're centered. I think centering it is what makes it awesome,
Yeah.
right?
Paragraph
We'll
form is
try to look.
easier and will occupy more space.
Got it.
This isn't a lot of words for a full page, so a couple of paragraphs with a header for the committees would make sense.
Great. So we'll look at see if we just go ahead and combine these next two pages to find that. Is that great? Yeah, okay, great. We'll see how that looks. Thank you. And again, looking at ad hoc, as far as content goes, I have a couple of edits about getting rid of ad hoc. And September 30th needs to have that space right there. Any other amount of things that we're seeing? Or, of course, the style and format. On programs, cultural services contracts, we made the edits that we talked about last time. Then we get to the cultural organizations program text here. And then turning the page into funding information by tier, maybe we need to reference COP at the top of it again. Yeah. And again, sorry that you would y'all's comment. So yes, this table does include Dallas Black Dance Theater. All of these figures here, this is from FY 23-24, which is inclusive of Dallas Black Dance. Yes. All right, so we have our breakdown here. Our council district, number of events and attendance. I did not include, now speaking about any other visual, I just don't think it would be a great representation. I think our table of council districts is very effective, but I can all those. That's great. Moving along. Yeah. That's. This is the table that I was talking about. I need to go through sort of a final. I just wanted to make sure we get this in for your draft. But thank you for sort of pinpointing the spot check on. All right, Arts Activate 2024. We have our description of the program, events and attendance by council district. Photo. Lines sort of layout. Great. Gotcha. Yes, super cool. The next page, again, I think let's just layout in general, spacing this better, having some good sizes. Yes, Commissioner Bedell. Oh, you're muted. Commissioner Bedell, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Funding information by community. On that page, in the column where percentage of total COP budget, percentage needs to be spelled out. The word needs to be spelled out versus the symbol
Got it.
in those two
Will
columns.
do.
Sorry.
Last column as well, I'm guessing. Great, wonderful. Thank you for that. All right. So our tax rate 24, we have our table here. Maybe again, we should just reiterate, this starts out today on the next page where we have our events and attendance by typology. Great. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So. Got it. Got it. Okay, cool. So the colors do align. Yes. Yes. So the colors do align. So we adjusted for that. I think we can maybe adjust a little bit better. It looked different on the screen than it does on the printout. But yes, so we'll work on that. Great. Okay. Any other comments on this particular page? All right. Now we move on to culture of value 2024, and what we did was went with Okay, well, I'm gonna make a comment real quick. We decided last time to put the general fund first, and then followed by the NEA. So I made a note of that. We'll swap the two. So putting that out there. All right, we have our description of the programs. Now we're looking at the NEA, council district, number of events and attendance. There it is. Thank you for that. Yeah. Good catch. And as far as a line, so this is always kind of a tricky one for me when I'm looking at numbers and people like this. As far as alignment goes, no, it's not. Center alignment. Yeah, I know. I look at her every time when I think about for the table. Yeah. Center alignment. Okay, cool. I know, like sometimes when I look at dollar figures, want an alignment for that. Just like alignment.
Yes, center's good.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, and so now we have event locations, and now I believe we're about to get to your comment, which is put the actual district numbers on it down. Yes. Yeah, yes, thank you. I just thought that was a really great idea. Thank you. I'll look into that.
I love that response.
That's a really good idea. Yes. District two, so also to clarify, this is based off of our updated district map, right, from 2023. So we updated it. And yeah, it's a big district. So odd. Or Councilmember Moreno, that's to
Yeah.
first the entire city.
Just so that we know the reason that this power that's.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Oh, it doesn't say events because, yeah, let me add up, yeah, add event number in events. Or should I do? Yeah, because really, in this case, for the general fund stuff, one event is also one location. But I'll do number of events. Yes. Well, both. I'll do both events and attendance per council district. Okay.
And Glenn, just for layout purposes, I would flip the map at the top and then do the event locations below. It looks more like a key to the map. Does that make sense? Anybody? I just think visually it might be a little more appealing.
I agree, and I think the other note that reinforces that is it looks a little weird because the map is against the graphics at the bottom. So
Yeah.
it looks like it's out. So if you just have it against the white background, it's consistent with some of the other maps.
Okay.
And will support legibility.
Yeah, the district locations are more of a key to the location. So it's like a map key versus, because the map is the main.
Okay. So, spell it names correctly.
Just flip them. Yeah, yeah, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I think also this is confusing because we have NEA on the page before with the table and then the NEA map. And so I think we probably need to find a way to group these together in general. We'll have the table first and then the map. Is that what you're saying?
I like the map first and then the table.
Map first.
Yeah, I like, yes.
Hey, Glenn, I think the other thing for orientation and for readability is that the header for the maps all say event locations.
Mhm.
I think they should be specific to the actual program that you are attempting to illustrate via the map. So, culture of value at locations, right?
Yeah.
Agree.
And I think we just basically need to do that across the board then for all of our,
Agreed.
for all of our, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yes, agree.
Awesome. And so, okay, so talking about order then, when we get to culture value general funds, we want, what order when it comes to tables and map? We want like map, events table, and then the location list.
Yeah,
I think
just like,
flow wise, I'm sorry, Sylvia, but flow wise, like general description, map visualization, table.
Okay. And for the tables, do we want the events and attendance table first or the actual list of locations?
What's the distinction? I'm sorry, the list of locations and what's the second map?
So we have a table with the actual like names of the branch libraries and rec centers, and then there's another table that's next to the general fund description that has our events broken down by district and attendance attached to that.
Uh, I guess the outline, the events by district probably is a more salient piece of information top line wise.
All right. Got it. So that, events and attendance by district, and then we'll have the list of that. Oh. I see what you're saying. Oh, something. I need to adjust this table. So we have like 2 lines that are district 6 and 2 lines that are district 8, I need to know. There's some error here. Yeah.
So what if it says, fine, so we put it in like justified if they were that. Sylvia's the one who posted this.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, Sylvia,
Yes.
hold on. Sylvia, so looking at this event location by council districts, because these lines are so long and so short, so different in length, would it look better, go ahead and justify them to the left side of their cell?
I think you could try it and see how it looks. I think it might be cleaner looking. Yeah.
Great. We'll do that. Or see how it goes. Great. All right, moving forward to Community Arts Division. We have our description, we have our couple of photos here, of course, our labels too, work on it. We have our events and attendance by council districts. I'll swap this too. And then we have our description for CAP. So I think we need to swap those two. Yeah,
And justify this to the left, right?
yes. Yep. All right. Oh, and then we need some comments in the attendance numbers too. All right. And again, we need some better titles here. Colors are aligned, but I'm still going to adjust that a little bit. Probably a key still for map, but I think where events are happening for map. Very nice map. Any other comments before we move on? Great, great. Community arts pop-up cultural programming. Our description. Support that. Great. Yeah. All right. Total number of funded artists and organizations. Get that. And then this might seem kind of short. Telling the with like the projects and things community arts does with independence, right? So kind of listed it necessarily here. Instead, we just high level data numbers plus description.
So can we put asterisks by that and say the attendance for more than them?
Sure. Yeah. More photos. Moving on to cultural venues. In our Director Felipe is asking about having a digital copy that will be able to post on our website and have available to other. Yes.
Downloadable?
Yeah.
We talked about the last time. Say there are
Yeah.
information saying on both bathhouse and both. Yeah.
Where was the other one? I feel like I made the adjustment to one of them. Yes. It's the, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
here, where we say, there is, or there is. Once it's in black box, theater, gallery spaces, blah, blah,
Okay,
blah,
so-
and then for the, local say, there is or are, maybe, same one. I didn't know that, there was that.
Got it, okay. Well, yes, we'll make those adjustments, absolutely.
If there's a,
Got it. Thank you.
and one other thing, we need a verb at the beginning of this, help.
I'm going to add it. So yes, there is one, and I think what I did was. It was secured. I used the word secured. Secured Sunita Health Clinics.
It's just something.
Yes, thank you. All right, we need a photo from the craft house. That's a photo. Any other comments? Any quote from that?
Not the story of that.
I'm sure. Got it. All right. Moving on to Moody Performance Hall and then our title or something here for the yeah.
Have a big,
Oh,
and it's like, these
Oh.
not all be the
No.
same category. A performing arts center, and then
Yeah.
Shakespeare, Wiley, and then now.
yeah.
You're not, yeah.
Sorry, the formatting did not carry over. Noted.
Same here.
Yes, yes. So, to clarify, we'll put a title up on this, so we'll give it kind of a section kind of name like everything else has. Um, yeah,
And I would say, when I went to work there, I didn't, of course, never thought it.
got it. It's the help. Got it. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you for that. I think that's really great. Yes.
Oh, and the question, okay, go right. And it's mentioned later. Just ask the plan separate from the get it. I don't know.
If I were thinking through this the same way of our other management agreement, the organizations are managed technically. Yeah, so yeah, let me think about it a little bit more. I think it's definitely, hey, you're right, using the WR facility, but people are still, just right here, you're still in charge of the management of the facility itself. I think might be the distinction. No, that's a fair question. Okay, all right. Open that up, public art program. Oh, there we go. Let's find out. If that is find out. Right now.
I thought. But of my first village, I think I don't know. The Mama does not be able to pronounce it. And also, I think with the shadow lines, there's, the caption should also mention, I don't know, one.
Okay.
Say, shadow lines. Make it look like.
All right, moving on. Recognition, education, and outreach, that page. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. So REP, REP, the OEM,
Yeah.
TX,
Yes,
yeah.
all right, what honors?
Yes, we'll clarify those. Maybe a little footnotes or we'll do something like that. Acronyms. It's
Okay, all right, on this.
away, it's going away. Yes,
Quarterly maintenance of Ivy School uniforms.
because it's big. I think like, yeah, good point, good call, good catch. All right, that it. Any other comments on that page? Just gonna move on. Municipal radio and peer review panel program. We'll change that photo like discussed earlier. Any other comments? Yeah, thank you. They're almost done, but this is also a big part of the data. So yes, working on that. That I know we discussed last time. I know. Do we need to? Oh, no. Do we need to? I
Need to take that away or?
so that's what, so like I honestly sometimes just parking things because we can control from that. Those are as we get into we talk about.
But I see what you're saying, but for that page, it's the capital sign, it's, notes.
Yes, that's right. It's always back to really distracting. Okay, one more time. I don't know.
Sometimes that might be.
Okay, fine. I'm so sorry. I know. I am going slowly crazy. It's I appreciate it. All right, one more time.
What is the purpose of that?
Great question. My answer is gonna be, because it was on there, a couple of reports. So, we put that up for folks to know what I think that's about.
So, all of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe, I wanted to.
We're been onboarding tomorrow, like our hopeful that just make that hopeful that
Yeah.
point, but we kind of wasn't just being event.
Yeah.
Yeah, events and celebrations, which is great because that's also aligned with it. Okay, great. So well, at least, at the very least, get rid of that, and then we'll see how this aligns that. Okay, cool. But yeah, we'll title this cultural events and celebrations. Align cultural events and as well. That's great. All right, goals, objectives for FY25. I'm fairly. Great.
Okay. All right, so work on facility accessibility. At no point, and explore the information of the and able knowledge of things of which one has to be. Like, it's them all there. I don't think so, I don't, I'm pushing back on what you said before.
She can't hear a thing. Oh,
Sylvia, you're muted.
no. Linda, can you hear me?
No, you can hear me. I can't. It was incredibly staticky and getting every fourth or fifth word.
Yes.
So I heard my name. So what were you
Yeah.
saying?
So we had a little bit of a discussion about why Deb works about helping the groups that have to do their own. So on the item that says work on facility accessibility for Atlanta organizations and CLP who currently have no home, I would like to add and explore the implementation of rental reimbursement grants to enable smaller groups to rent space from groups who are managing their own facilities. I'm asking you if that's okay.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, with all of us, but she's the one who back on that.
I recall sitting at, sometimes, going,
Yeah,
kind of,
absolutely.
I can't.
I think of,
Can't look clear.
yeah, so,
Well, Clyde, I can't hear you now. Oh.
yeah, I just, if that was Linda making a suggestion to that particular bullet about rental reimbursements in the form of grants, I just have a question for the chair. And would we need to vet this first via the allocations committee? Or is that something that can be sort of administered as is via existing resources? I'm wondering about the administration and protocol of, mentioning reimbursement grants, like that language coming from us as a commission without a standing program or specific protocol. And I'm sorry I can't hear any responses at the moment.
All of the commissioners are going to get that draft, and I will call Vicky's attention to the phrase that Linda suggested.
And notice that said, explore the implementation.
That's key. That's key. Oh, thank you. I missed that part. I missed that part, Linda.
Yeah,
I think it's a fantastic addition there.
I agree, Clyde and Linda both. So yeah, explore, but just keeping in mind our role as advisors and not staff. So yes.
yeah.
and I would add that in addition to the allocations, I think the suggestion actually came from I would, but I think we need to get draft out.
Yeah.
So the mission.
Yes, wonderful. All right, it's really fun. So this appendix portion right here, of course, we also have like our much longer appendix document because we need to look at, how we achieved our goals for FY 24. Yes, sorry, yes, yep. Yes, FY 23-24. Chair Nugent mentioned, and we'll clarify these and how we met them. For number one, there was a briefing on June 12, 24. For number two, a briefing on 8/15. I know that Lynn did a briefing on public art, so I should figure out the date for that. We'll provide some explanation to number four, because I think that while we made discussions around this it wasn't necessarily met to goal, so we'll just provide some clarity and context. We're going to tighten up the language that Commissioner Holomo provided for number five. And then I will reach out to chairs Bragalone and Neat to get some responses to their goals and how they can meet that. So with that. Well, so this was really Commissioner Holomo's response, I believe, to how he met goal number five. Yes. Great. Ours. Yeah. Let's actually that up.
Yes.
Last now. Okay, and then the appendix itself, unless you have there are any glaring anything.
I didn't get, I got some, what, let me just.
Hey, Glenn,
Yes.
I just had a few sort of top line notes around the design, so not necessarily a per page. And it has to do with the photos. Through the course of the document, there are various uses of images. Some of them are in a sort of photo box and floating against the page. Others have blurred edges and sort of bleed into the negative space. And some are specifically framed. And I wonder, just from a legibility and ease on the eye perspective, if there can be consistency. So going with one option around the use of imagery versus these various styles. The other style, which is a little bit busy, is there's sort of like a reflection almost. I'm thinking specifically the majestic image, and then the subsequent image of some of the Office of Arts and Culture employees, where there's like again, a reflection or a mirror at the bottom. So I would just be consistent to simplify the images. Just to make it easier on the eye. I think the other suggestion I have for consideration, if it isn't too much work, because I did hear during the course of the layout more images. So, you're going to have to pull things, and I'm sure you have plenty, is also the possibility of captions. So that, if I'm looking through this, I could see this image next to the South Dallas Cultural Center, of people, and I could just quickly know where that is or what that's from. As an example, we all referenced the image at under the public art, Martin's Park. It'd be great to sort of like name what that is and where it is. Very simple. Doesn't have to be a lot of content. I'm just saying captions on photos are always a good orientation to share additional information.
Perfect. Will do. Thank you.
Clyde, if you could, I think that was a great observation on the photos, and in looking at it, once again, I don't know who the graphic guy was, but I kind of like the fact that they're not all exactly the same. And I think the technique that you're looking at on a lot of these, it's just a drop shadow, so that it really I think the intent is so that the photo kind of looks like it's popping out of the page a little bit. But I do agree that there is like a lot of different ones happening. Sometimes they're different on the same page. But, to leave just a little graphic license for creativity, maybe not all of them exactly the same, because I think that would, that can tend to look kind of one-dimensional. But I agree with what you're saying in terms of the amount of variation, but maybe not just 100% all of them exactly.
Yeah, it may really be consistency per page even, so that you don't
Sure.
have contrasting. But I do think that, you don't want to have too much of that happening
Yeah,
from a readability perspective.
No, that's great. I think we can find a good balance between those things as we keep working on the style of it.
Just if I may, I'm sorry, one more observational note. You have a consistency of headers are really important. So I'm looking at page 15, which is the Community Arts Division page. And it's a very clean header, Community Arts Division, followed by a very clean paragraph that is the overview and then the subsequent subprograms. So I just wonder, as you kind of look through and cleaning the document up, that you think about that consistency when you're starting a new section,
Yes,
a new program.
great. Thank you.
That's it. It looks great, and it's 10 times better than what you initially shared with us from last
Oh, great.
year.
Yeah,
No
about
offense to nobody.
Thank you.
Oral has the
Mr. Padell.
Yes. Um, Going back just to Clyde and the photography, I agree with him. And I do feel like the photography can really shine in this annual report. We are arts and culture, so photography, it's not a financial report. It's arts and culture, and photography could be even bigger in my mind, and a little more splashier. I think that would be um, really a benefit. And I also want to make sure, like, I'm looking at the page, cultural values page, Bathhouse Cultural Center. So we're talking about the AAPI Dragon Boat Festival. We have a picture on another page of that, and so I'd love to see that picture beside that copy. So just being cognizant of our copy and the photography beside it, that they match up, because I would expect to see that boat festival, and I see they're inside doing an activity. So I just making sure we're consistent there. And I know we've got the photography, and I'd love to see it splashier, and I'd love to see it match up with the copy beside it.
Got it. Yes, thank you. Great. As far as the appendix go, if y'all have the opportunity to go through, I know, go through it, like, look at edits and things like that, and send those to the end of the post. Yeah, I have not done any of these edits that, Charity Transition Ladies have handed over, so we'll work on producing those edits, but if you have any yourself, because the appendix is just such a lengthy document, and, we won't be doing any sort of fancy thing to the appendix itself, we might put it in a particular border style template to match this, but overall, it's about getting the text, as much text on one page as possible to make the document shorter. Short. So that was my thought behind. Yeah, that's okay, great. Yeah, we'll look into how we can make something more creative. So it's not a full document every time. Smart. No, yeah, like, you know, I really have been skating, so I really have to thank, whatever. I'm so dumb. No, I just, I want to thank, Emmanuel for all of the work that he did pulling all of this together while my attention was focused elsewhere on the past couple of weeks. So thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so Emmanuel's pulled up the, so we've gone through a bunch of our briefings, but, as part of that, we'll go through the rest of our calendar, which is out right now. We're in our third draft of good day. We'll be sending, the third draft out for commission comments. We'll send it out Friday. Well, for the final, yeah. Okay. So that's, Monday, so now, final plan. Got it. Okay, that works. Great. Yeah. We do have a simple one. But yes, so what we'll do that. We'll send, sort of, yeah, there we go. Anyway, so we'll send this out to y'all one more time for like a final sort of thumbs up. And then next Monday, we'll put it out to the commission. We'll do what we did last year. Just for a reminder, we will send out the document to everyone. Yeah. And what we asked was we set up a Microsoft form, right? So you weren't getting into any email and all this. Microsoft form that you were able to input or a page number or a section or just the text itself and whatever version you want to see into that. And then took those documents for us to revisit as a committee, January 8th here. To revisit January 8th, and then ideally we'll make the final documents. Recommend that to go to the full consent on this. January 3rd is when all commissioners need to have the review. Okay. Back to OSF town. That. Yes. We try not to sweep y'all too much. Yeah, so. Yeah, but we'll get that to Friday out. Great. All right, I'm done. Good, yeah. Yeah.
So all business before the annual report committee being duly considered, I call this meeting to a close at 5:35.
Okay, thanks y'all. Sorry for the tech issues.
Okay.
Awesome.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and get your flu shots.
Great job. Bye-bye.